Hi, welcome to English Composition. I'm Michael Cheng. I'm here with Cher Chen today.
各位同学，大家好，欢迎来到英文作文课程，我是 Cher。
All right, today we're going to show you how to write about preferences when you write up a research report.
好，今天我们要示范的呢，是当你在撰写调查报告的时候，要如何能够表现出个人偏好的立场。
All right, we're going to start by showing you some different ways of showing preferences.
好，首先呢，我们先示范一些可以用来表示偏好的方式。
All right, let's take a look at our table over here. We have some different snacks, and we're going to try them out and see which ones we like the best.
好，我们看到桌上呢，这里放了2种饼干哦。那我们等一下会试吃这2种饼干，然后看看哪一种比较好吃。
All right, so first over here, we have cookie A, and cookie A will be our round, very dark-colored cookie.
好，我们可以看到这个咖啡色的这个圆形的饼干，我们叫做 Cookie A。
All right, and then the light brown ones, the square cookies here, these will be cookie B.
好，我们看到另外一种，这个是方形的咖啡，这咖啡色的饼干哦，这个是我们叫做 Cookie B。
All right, so let's take a look at cookie A first. Cher, why don't you try cookie A and tell us what you think about it. So how does it look, first of all?
It looks appealing and attractive.
All right, so we're going to have Cher try the cookie now and see how it is.
Okay.
So as she's trying the cookie, maybe we can take a look at cookie A some more here. And when I was a kid growing up in the U.S., we used to eat them by breaking them apart like this. And so 我就是小的时候在美国，我会分开 and 就是吃一半 or 先吃里面 and then 那个2个 cookie 会以后会吃。So, how do you like cookie A?
It's tasty.
Okay, very, very tasty. Do you want to try cookie B now?
Okay, sure.
And when Cher's trying cookie, I have no stories to tell about cookie B. 我在那个 cookie B 我没有一个故事可以告诉你们。So how do you like cookie B?
It tastes dry.
Okay, dry. Mm-hmm. All right, and so it seems that Cher likes cookie A better. So which one do you like better?
Cookie A.
All right, so since Cher liked cookie A better, we can make up a sentence like this one. Cher liked cookie A better than cookie B.
好，那刚刚呢，我吃了2种饼干呢，我发现 Cookie A 我比较喜欢胜过 Cookie B， 所以我可以这样讲我们可以要造出这样的一个句子Cher 喜欢 Cookie A 胜过 Cookie B。
Right, we can also make up a sentence that shows the reason why we like cookie A better than cookie B.
好，我们也可以用另外一个说法来表示我们喜欢饼干 A 胜过饼干 B 的原因。
And we have this sentence. Cher preferred cookie A because it was tastier and more attractive than cookie B.
好，我们可以看到这个句子意思是说 Cher 比较喜欢 Cookie A， 因为它吃起来口味很好，而且呢它比 B 更有这个吸引力。
And you can see in the sentence that we have 2 adjectives. We have tastier and we have attractive as we're describing these cookies. Tastier and more attractive.
好，我们发现在这个句子里面呢有2个形容词一个是 tastier， 一个是 more attractive。
All right, now let's learn more about how to turn these adjectives into their comparative form in our grammar focus section.
好，我们接下来呢我们要进入这个文法重点的部分，我们来看看如何把形容词变成它的比较形态。
All right, when we want to compare 2 items, we need to use the comparative form of adjectives.
好，当我们要比较2种东西的时候呢，我们必须要用到形容词的比较级。
Right, for adjectives that are only 1 syllable long or are 2 syllables and end in Y, we make the comparative form by adding ER to the end of the adjective.
好，当我们这个对于只有1个音节的形容词或者是有2个音节，但是结尾是 Y 的形容词呢，我们会直接在形容词的字尾加上 ER， 把它变成形容词的比较级。
All right, and another thing, if we have these 2-syllable adjectives that end in Y, we also have to change the Y at the end into an I before we add ER.
好，对于2个音节以上的形容词呢，我们也会在字尾加上 er 或者是我们把这个字尾的 y 去掉改成 I， 然后再加上 er。
And so we said that cookie A was tasty, and so if we're going to make a comparison of the word tasty, we do it like this.
好，那像是 tasty 这个字呢，如果我们要把它变成比较级的话，我们有以这样子的方式。
Right, so we can see here, tasty, it's 2 syllables that ends in Y, so we can add ER to it.
好，我们看到 tasty 这个字呢，它有2个音节哦，那它的结尾是以 y 做结尾哦，所以我们在这样子的一个形容词后面加上 er。
And we also have to change that Y into an I before we add the ER.
好，那我们要发现呢，这个字尾的这个 y 哦，我们要先把它去掉，改成 i 哦，那再加上 er。
And so when we make all these changes, we end up with our new comparative form of the adjective. We have tastier.
好，我们把这些步骤做完之后呢，我们就会找到这个字的比较级哦，就是 tastier。
And so if we want to use tasty in a simple comparative sentence, we can write a sentence like this one. Cookie A was tastier than cookie B.
好，如果我们想要在这个简单的比较句子中用 tasty 这个字，我们可以写出如以下的这个句子：Cookie A was tastier than cookie B.
Now, when we want to write a comparative of adjectives that are 2 syllables or longer, all we have to do is add the word more in front of the adjective.
好，当我们呢要使用这个形容词呢，它是有2个以上的音节哦，我们就直接在这个形容词的前面加上 more 把它变成所谓的比较级。
All right, and so we said that cookie A was more attractive also, and so the comparative form of attractive is more attractive.
好，所以呢，我们刚刚在说这个 cookie A 它是比较 attractive attractive 这个字就有2个以上的音节哦，所以我们会把它变成 more attractive。
Right, so if we want to use attractive in a simple comparative sentence, we can write a sentence like this one. Cookie A was more attractive than cookie B.
好，如果我们想要在简单的比较句子中呢，使用 attractive 这个字，我们可以写出如下的这个句子。我们说 cookie A 是比较对于 cookie B 来讲呢是比较有吸引力的。
All right, let's go on now and show you how you can use adjectives to show some negative information.
好，接下来呢，我们要看看如何使用形容词来表达比较负面的意义。
Right, so we decided that cookie B was not as good as cookie A because it was drier. And so we can write a sentence like this one. Cher did not like cookie B because it was too dry.
好，那我们刚刚发现呢，我们觉得饼干 B 没有饼干 A 好吃，是因为饼干 B 的口感比较干涩所以我们可以写出以下这个句子。Cher 不喜欢 Cookie B， 因为它吃起来比较干哦。
Right, in this sentence, we add a negative feeling to the adjective dry by adding the word to before it.
好，为了要表达这种负面的感觉，我们在形容词 dry 的前面呢加上了 to 这个字。
And then we can simplify the sentence by just writing Cookie B was too dry.
我们可以很简单的把这个句子用另外一个方式来说，我们就说 Cookie B 太干涩了。
All right, so let's review. So far, we've learned that you can show preferences by writing these sentences.
好，让我们来复习一下目前我们学习到可以用来表达偏好的方式呢，有以下几种。
Cher liked Cookie A better than Cookie B.
好，第一种说 Cher 喜欢 Cookie A 胜过 Cookie B。
We can also make a sentence like this one and say Cher preferred Cookie A because it was tastier and more attractive than Cookie B.
好，另外一种方式呢，我们可以说 Cher 比较喜欢 Cookie A， 因为它吃起来比较好吃，而且比 Cookie B 有吸引力。
And now let's show some different ways of showing basically the same idea. All right, the first thing that we can do is we can change the word better into more. And we have Cher liked Cookie A more than Cookie B. These two sentences mean the same thing.
好，我们现在来换一下这个方式来表现偏好的意思。首先呢，我们看到这个句子，我们可以把里面的 better 改成 more，那就会看到本来是 Cher like Cookie A better than Cookie B，那我们把它改成 like Cookie A more than Cookie B。
All right, let's take a look at another sentence. We have this long sentence. We're going to shorten it now into just Cher preferred Cookie A to Cookie B.
好，我们接下来想要缩短这个很长的句子那我们很简单的说，我们就可以把它变成 Cher prefer Cookie A to Cookie B.
And another thing that we can do is we can also change the word to, and we can just have Cher preferred Cookie A over Cookie B.
好，另外一种方式呢，我们可以把 to 改成 over 就会得到以下这个句子 Cher preferred Cookie A over Cookie B.
And finally, we have another sentence that we can use. We can change the word like to the word thought in a sentence.
好，最后呢，我们还有另外一种方式啊，我们可以把 like 这个字改成 thought。
All right, and so over here, for the sentence Cher liked cookie A better than cookie B, we can change this into Cher thought cookie A was better than cookie B.
好，我们最后呢这个地方的改法呢，你就可以看到句子本来是 Cher like cookie A better than cookie B，那我们把 like 改成 thought，就会变成下面这个句子。
And also notice here that we have to add in the be verb. We have to have the word was in that sentence.
好，也请注意到在最后一个句子里面呢，我们必须要再加上一个 be 动词才能写出文法正确的句子。
All right, let's take a little break now, and when we come back, we'll have more English composition.
好，我们现在先休息一下，待会儿再回来。
Okay, if we've learned how to write about preferences, now let's watch a little situation, a little scene that we can use in writing up a report.
好，我们已经学会了如何写句子来表达你的偏好。那接下来呢，我们来看一个可以写成简短报告的一个情境哦。
All right, so please watch this skit, and as you watch the skit, notice how the questions that the interviewer asks are very general at the beginning, and they get more personal as the interview progresses.
好，接下来我们会放一段短片哦。在短片开始的时候呢，你会发现一开始的时候，这个访问者提出来的问题是比较笼统的哦，那他会渐渐的问题会越来越深入哦。
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you take part in the survey for our new product?
Sure.
Thank you. Please have a seat right here. I have 2 bagels here, and please try them and tell me which one you like better.
Okay.
All right. Okay, here we go. What do you think?
I think I like bagel A better.
Okay. Why do you like bagel A better?
I think this is tastier and more attractive than bagel B.
Okay, then do you have any comments about bagel B?
Yes, I think it is too dry and too hard to chew.
All right. And how much will you pay for bagel A at a supermarket?
Well, $30.
Will you pay $50?
No, that is too expensive.
Do you have time to answer a few more questions about your background?
Okay.
All right. Have you ever had bagels before?
Yes, I had them at a restaurant.
And have you ever had them at home?
No, never.
Okay. What do you usually have for breakfast?
Well, mostly something simple like toast, eggs, and milk.
Okay. Then where do you usually have breakfast?
I usually have breakfast at home.
Do you eat breakfast with your family?
Yes, I have breakfast with my husband and my daughter.
Okay. Then who does the grocery shopping for your family?
I almost always do the grocery shopping.
Okay. Could you fill out this background information on this form?
Certainly. Okay.
Thank you so much. And please accept this gift for taking the time to help us with our survey.
Oh, thank you.
Have a good time.
All right, so there was a lot of information in that interview. Did you notice how the interview was structured?
好，我们会发现呢，在短片中这一段访谈哦，其实有出现很多的资讯哦。那你有没有发现这段访谈的架构到底是怎么样的呢？
Right, first it started with some very general information about the product, and this is probably the most information. Which bagel the informant liked better?
好，我们会发现呢，首先这个访谈是从非常概括性的问题开始问起哦，像他问的是关于你比较喜欢哪一种 bagel 呢？或者是你喜欢这种 bagel 的原因哦，这是可能是这段访谈里面最重要的一个重点哦。
Right, and then the interview moved into slightly more intrusive questions by asking how much she would pay for a bagel.
好，接下来的访谈者呢，问到比较深入的问题哦，像是这位受访者愿意花多少钱来买这个 bagel。
All right, next the questions became more intrusive by asking if she had bagels before.
好，接下来呢，问题就越来越深入了哦。他问到说，他之前有没有吃过 bagel 呢？
And then she asked what she usually has for breakfast.
还有问到说，他早餐通常都吃什么呢？
And then she also asked who does the grocery shopping for the family.
哦，最后还问到说，在家里通常是谁在负责采买哦？
And then finally, the interview asked the informant if she could fill out some extra information about her personal background.
啊，最后呢，这个访问者还有问这位受访者说，是否愿意填写一些个人资讯哦？
And so note that when you ask someone to fill out their personal contact information, that usually will come at the end of the interview.
啊，也请注意到哦，通常呢是在访谈的最后面才会询问受访者的联络资料。
All right, so now we're going to move on and we're going to write up a simple paragraph based on the information that we attained in this interview.
好，接下来呢，我们要根据我们刚刚的访谈中得到的资讯呢，来写一段简单的段落。
And so when we are preparing this paragraph, we're going to start by providing some background information about our informant so we can determine if she's similar or different to other consumers who might be interested in this product.
好，那在这个我们等一下的段落呢，我们一开始将会先提供关于这位研究对象的一些背景资讯哦。那这样呢，利用这样的方式，我们就可以确定说，这位受访者和其他对于这个产品有兴趣的消费者呢，是否有相同的特色。
And another thing to note is that we will normally change the name of our informant if we're going to write a report that will be published for a lot of people to see.
哦，同时呢，请各位同学也要注意哦。如果说这篇文章呢，你将会公开来发布的话，我们通常会更改这位受访者的真实姓名。
All right, so now our paragraph is going to include some information about the general topic of breakfast, so we can also have a context for comparing her attitudes towards our product.
好，那我们在段落中呢，也会讲到一些关于早餐的这个主题哦，好让我们能够有足够的资讯来比较他对于这个产品的态度。
And then finally, the paragraph is going to show our informant's opinion about our product.
好，最后呢，这个段落篇章呢，会把研究对象对于这个产品的这个意见写出来。
So now in terms of the background information that we have about our informant, you saw that she filled out a form. And so let's see what information we have about her.
好，至于这个受访者的资讯呢，哦，注意到他在访谈的最后呢，他有填写一些资料哦。那我们因此呢，可以得到以下的这些资讯。
Right, and so we see that her name is Emily Lee.
好，我们可以看到她的名字啊，叫做 Emily Lee。
Her age is 35.
好，我们知道她是35岁。
Her occupation is secretary.
哦，她的工作呢是秘书。
And her income range is between $40,000 to $80,000 per month.
哦，她的收入呢，哦，每个月大约是4万到8万之间。
All right, some other things that we learned about Emily is that she's married and that she has one child.
好，那关于 Emily， 我们还知道说她已经结婚了，而且有一个小孩。
And we also learned something about her shopping habits, and that's that Emily does the grocery shopping for the family.
好，关于她的购物习惯呢，我们也知道说 Emily 通常是在家里做这个采购的人哦。
We also learned something about eating habits, and that they usually have breakfast at home, and breakfast consists of something like toast, eggs, and milk, but no bagels.
好，我们也发现呢，哦，他的一些这个饮食习惯哦，他们通常都会在家里吃早餐。那吃的东西呢，包括像是吐司啊、蛋啊、牛奶啊，但是没有 bagel 这个项目的。
And then finally, we learned about Emily's bagel preference.
哦，最后呢，我们还有看到这个 Emily 对于 bagel 的一些偏好哦。
And we found out that she liked bagel A better, and it's tastier, it's more attractive, and she thought it's worth $30.
好，关于 Bagel A 呢，Emily 觉得它比较好吃，而且它比较吸引她哦，而且她觉得这个 Bagel A 是价值约30块钱。
And then she didn't like Bagel B as much because it's too dry and too hard to choose.
好，那 Emily 比较不喜欢 Bagel B 哦，因为它太干涩了，而且呢，它比较难咬哦。
All right, let's take a break now, and then when we come back, we're going to put all this information together into a paragraph.
好，我们现在休息一下，等一下回来，我们再把以上刚刚得到的资讯呢，都放到一个段落里面。
We're going to take all that information that we got from Emily Lee now, and we're going to see what we get in our writing model segment.
好，接下来呢，我们会把我们刚刚根据对 Emily 的访谈里面得到的资讯呢，拿出来写成一篇简短的报告。
All right, let's take a look at the writing model now.
好，我们现在来看一看这个写作范例啊。
Emily Lee was my first informant.
好 ，Emily Lee 是我的第一个受访者。
She is a 35-year-old secretary from Taipei.
她是一个35岁的秘书哦，那她是从台北来的。
She earns between $40,000 and $80,000 per month.
她每个月呢赚的金钱大约是4万到8万元。
She is married and has one child.
她已经结婚了，而且有一个小孩。
She almost always does the grocery shopping for her family at a supermarket.
她几乎呢总是她在做这个采买的动作为她的家庭采买，但是是在那个超市。
She usually eats breakfast at home.
她通常会在家里吃早餐。
She often has toast, eggs, and milk for breakfast.
通常呢，她早餐会吃吐司、蛋跟牛奶。
She has never served bagels to her family for breakfast, but she has bought bagels at a restaurant.
好，她从来没有做 bagel 当做他们家人的早餐，但是她曾经在餐厅里面吃过 bagel。
Emily liked bagel A better than bagel B.
好 ，Emily 比较喜欢 bagel A 胜过 bagel B。
She preferred bagel A because it was tastier and more attractive than bagel B.
她比较喜欢 bagel A 是因为它吃起来比较可口，而且它比 bagel B 更有吸引力。
She did not like bagel B because it was too dry and too hard to chew.
她不喜欢 bagel B， 因为它吃起来太干涩了，而且它不容易咀嚼哦。
Emily would pay $30 for bagel A, but she would not pay $50 because $50 is too expensive.
Emily 愿意花30元去买 bagel A， 但是她不愿意花到50元，因为她觉得50元太贵了。
All right, so you can see that we have a very simple report about bagel preference in this little writing model.
好，你会发现呢，这是一段非常简短的报告哦。
Right, now, if we want to make a more complete report, of course, we should have more than one informant.
如果我们希望把这个报告做更多的延伸的话，那当然我们必须要有更多的受访者。
Right, and also, if we have a complete report, we should also come to some kind of conclusion about what this information means to us, or some kind of information about how we should react to the information we got from our informant.
好，而且呢，在这个完整的报告里面我们应该要这个继续的研究才能够达到一个结论了解这些资讯对我们有什么样的意义。
And so this means that we could make some suggestions for what we could change, or some suggestions for what we should do after we learn this information.
好，这代表着呢在我们已经知道这些资讯之后，我们还能够针对我们所学习到的东西来提出一些建议。
Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some more time and we're going to practice a little bit more of showing how you can write about or write comparisons between two objects or two people.
好，接下来呢，我们来花几分钟的时间看一下这里的练习。那我们来练习看看要怎么样呢，能够去比较两样东西。
And so we are going to go now to look at grammar exercise 2, and you can find this on page 66 of your textbook.
好，我们接下来呢来看一下课本第66页的文法练习。
All right, and so here you can see that we have two pictures.
好，你可以看到我们有2张图片哦。
And so we're going to talk about these two, and then we're going to make up some sentences that compare them.
好，我们接下来来讨论一下这2张图片，然后我们来把这2张图片做个比较。
All right, and so let's take a look at the first picture that we have on the left of the screen. And so here we have a lady. Anything that you can say about this lady, Cher?
She looks tall.
All right, she's tall, obviously taller than the other person. Anything else?
She looks thin.
All right, thin, tall and thin. Some other words that we can use are maybe we could say she's skinny, or else we can say she's slender. So skinny is more negative sounding, while slender is more positive sounding.
好，我们现在看到画面中呢2个图片，我们看到左手边这位女士我们说这位女士她有哪些特色呢？我们发现她比较高她是 tall， 而且它比较瘦哦，它是很 thin。那我们有提到说这个 thin 这个字呢，我们可以用另外的形容词来形容瘦哦，比如说像是 skinny 或者是像 slender。但是 skinny 这个字呢，形容这个人皮包骨的哦，这是比较负面的意义。但是 slender 指的是这个人身材蛮苗条的哦，所以是比较正面的意义。
Right, and so as we continue taking a look at this picture, we can say that another characteristic is that this lady is quite old, and maybe also the way she's dressed, it looks very old-fashioned.
好，我们再看看这位女士呢，我们会发现她看起来年龄应该是蛮大了哦，而且她身上的穿着看起来比较过时的。
All right, let's go on and let's take a look at the man. Is there anything that you can say about the man, other than he's short?
He looks happy.
All right, yeah, so he's a happy kind of looking person. Do you have any guess about what kind of job you think he has?
I think he's a politician.
Yeah, so, when I saw this picture for the first time, I thought, wow, that looks just like a politician because he seems very enthusiastic and energetic and the kind of person who likes to go out and talk to a lot of people.
好，我们可以看到这一张图片哦，旁边这个男生呢，我们可以看到他是比较的矮小哦。那我们也发现他看起来脸好像表情还蛮开心的啊。那我们可以猜测说，从这个人的表情、他的姿势，我们猜测他可能是一个政治家哦。那我们会发现说，因为他看起来动作看起来非常的大方，那他感觉上就是一个愿意到外面跟大家讨论事情的这样一个人物。
All right, let's take a look at some sentences that we can make about these two pictures.
好，我们根据这两幅图片呢，我们来看看可以写出什么样的句子。
All right, one sentence that we can write is, the man is more cheerful than the woman.
好，我们一个句子可以这样写哦，我们说这位男士看起来比这位女士来得开心。
And we can see here that the man is also more energetic than the woman.
好，我们也可以看到这位男士比这位女士来得有活力。
All right, another sentence we can make is about the woman. We see this woman is older, and so our sentence is, the woman is older than the man.
我们可以看到这个句子，我们说这位女士看起来比这位男士老。
And we also said that the man is a politician. He likes to talk to people. So how about this sentence? The man is more outgoing than the woman.
我们说这一位男士呢，看起来比这位女士还要来得活泼。
And so as we look at the face of this woman, she seems like a very serious person. And so our sentence is, the woman is more serious than the man.
好，我们看看这位女士她的表情，因为看起来比较严肃哦，所以我们可以写出这样的句子。我们说这位女士看起来比这位男士来得严肃。
And let's take a look at one final sentence. We can say, the man is shorter than the woman.
好，我们来看最后一个句子啊。我们说这位男士看起来比这位女士来得矮小。
All right, let's talk now about what you should do for your homework.
好，我们接下来看看这一周你应该做什么样的回家作业。
And so we want you to do the writing activity. That means that you should pick out 2 products that you want to compare. You can compare maybe 2 drinks or 2 foods or even 2 kinds of consumer electronic products. And you should ask a friend their opinion about these 2 products.
好，接下来呢，这个礼拜请你们回去做写作练习的部分哦。那请你先选出2样你想要拿来比较的物品哦。你可以比较2种饮料、2种食物，或者是2种这个电子产品哦。那你可以请一位朋友来当你的受访者。
Right, and so then after you're done conducting the interview, then write up a short paragraph like the writing model.
好，那当你访谈完之后呢，你可以写一个简短的一个段落哦，来就像是我们这个写作范例这边一样。
Thanks for joining us this week for English composition.
好，谢谢你们来到今天的课程。